Colony Season 4. Is it time? Colony is an interesting slant on a well-explored area of fiction, namely the arrival of powerful aliens taking over the planet and controlling all of humanity. But instead of being all about a scrappy resistance army fighting back against this occupation, Colony showed us a perhaps more plausible outcome. Human collaborators working with the outsiders to make the occupation run better, providing labor for them, stamping out resistance, and providing a veneer of normality. Our insight into this alien but also strangely familiar new world, or new dystopian future for humanity, came from the experiences, struggles, and accommodations and compromises made by your typical suburban family having to contend with not only the existence of aliens, but also a tragic separation from their son. While starting out strongly with this new depiction, the story took on a harder edge as various family members were pulled in different directions, some ending up on the collaborator side, others on the new resistance side, all the while hiding secrets from each other and living under the same roof. The family's fortunes were then affected by events and forces well out of their control as political and strategic decisions were made by the outsiders and their puppet world government. By Season 3 we found out that humanity had accidentally allied themselves with one faction fighting an interplanetary war, and the other side were now coming to get us. The family unit itself started to break down, and by the end of Season 3 a large portion of the episodes were focused on their human drama as well, so the show was pulling too much between a grand story about aliens fighting and a detailed analysis of family collapse. By Season 3, all the characters looked tired and worn down, and I felt as though this was representative of not just what was going on in the plot, but also reflected the entire production itself. When we leave the series, the aliens have wiped out the world government and have begun bombarding the Earth. Thanks to the sacrifices of some humans, led by Will, main male character, the hosts had shielded a few human cities. Snyder, the hated collaborator governor of LA, who had somehow obtained the same position in Seattle, survived, as did a band of rebels who conveniently found a bunker filled with food, weapons, advanced laboratories, and medical supplies. It remains unclear if Katie, the female lead, trapped outside the shield as the bombs land, dies in the shockwave or somehow survives. Will is in some kind of stasis pod to be used by the hosts for the next phase of their war, along with 149 others. From the hints we got in Season 3, it looks like a Season 4 would have gone down the well-trodden human resistance versus aliens path, the path which I was happy to see they had not followed at the beginning of the story, but which they had somehow ended up going down by the end of Season 3, where we see a ragtag bunch of rebels performing hit-and-run attacks in Seattle, always one step ahead of space alien-backed collaborator government because of these so-called advanced research labs in a bunker somewhere. I don't know where the power's coming for it, but anyway. Will would be fighting in some kind of spaceship and prove himself to the hosts, and Katie would no doubt naturally survive that shockwave, perhaps hiding behind a car and then suffering a few cuts and scratches, but before long she would probably make her way back under the protection of the Seattle shield. When it comes to sci-fi, I would like to see something new and original, and this show started off strong and interesting because it was new and original. But it took a strange turn by the end of Season 2, and then because of financial problems they ended up moving to Canada, where Season 3 became dull, slow-moving, boring, and worst of all, predictable. A major problem with Hollywood TV shows is that they are often never made with an ending in mind. Productions are made with the aim of hooking as many people as possible for as long as possible in order to maximize advertising revenue. In this day and age, it's a really bad way to provide entertainment. When the writers start running out of ideas, the shows generally drop off in quality and the audience slowly evaporates, leading to abrupt cancellations with an incomplete narrative. There were definitely other factors that led to how this show changed over its 3 seasons and also to its cancellation, but most of the evidence we have would indicate that if there had been a Season 4, it would have lazily fallen into the above mentioned rebels versus aliens trope. I don't really care about rebels taking over some random government building in Seattle, but I do want to know who the hosts are, who the aliens are, why they're fighting, what Will and his variant humans can do to alter the course of the war, and what the final outcome is. Would Season 4 have provided definitive and final answers? If not, I don't see much point in a Season 4. If the viewing numbers are strong on Netflix, they could potentially fund a shorter mini-series type production to at least end the story in a grander manner. Okay guys, so those are my thoughts on a potential Season 4 of Colony. If you like this, please give me a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.